طيب كده second attraction Wadi al-Muluk, Valleys of the Kings. Sounds flashy, but it's actually where all the kings are just buried. So let's go see some mummies and get some curses so we can die faster. Most probably the camera is going to die out, its batteries will die out again. I'm expecting that, and we will see whether I'm right or wrong. That's the map of the Valley of the Kings. Let's go take a peek. Okay, that's a lot of kings dying. Interesting. And why is KV-23 all the way alone like that? Who's KV-23? AY. Did he do something bad to be thrown like that? And KV-22 too. I mean, Hatip is like in the middle of the desert. Interesting. I guess we'll know it. Let's go enter. Pause the camera for now. Okay, yeah, I was saying you should make a better model about the temple, but man, this is a very good model. It's 3D. Oh, I can see it's in Japanese too. That's fancy. Tutankhamun, Tutankhamun. عادية يعني؟
كاميرا عادية ولا بس مباشر ولا ايه بالظبط؟
لا عادية عادية.
شيء عادي؟
أنا بسوي الفيديو للذكرى وكده بس. This is just perfect. There's the guy who's thrown alone. Oh, look at this. That's perfect. It's transparent from below, and you can even see the design from below. That's awesome, man. I wonder if we'll get to go in one of those. Okay, we're in the Tufta right now. Because definitely, man, we're not gonna walk all that. Well, even when they are dying, they are as flashy as you can imagine. And we'll see that live in a few moments. Man, that motor is lousy. I think I might pause. That's from the front. Man, that's a desert. That's a lonely place to be buried in. Alright, seems like we have arrived at the first stop. Man, what crowd. Run, guys, run. Okay, I guess we'll be walking from here. That's King Rameses the 5th, I guess. Now V22, I think that's the 7th. That should be the 7th. Right. Inspection again. Well, let's get going. Right, I'm not using the camera right now because it should be prohibited, so I'll be using the phone, although I don't see any difference in concept. Well, and if I could or manage to use the camera down there, I would use it. We are now in Rameses III tomb. And there's the ticket. Let's get going. Okay, I have no idea what's that, but let's give it a blind eye. The colors are still there. شكرا. And there we're inside. فين مكتوب. And that's a lot of writings. The tour guide was explaining that it's some sort of books. Wow, well, it's really well made. Probably some stuff was here and got stolen or went to the museum or something. That's the sun disk. And that's a lot of... Wait a minute. Why does it feel like it's repeated? It's quite different from below, but all the beginnings are the same. Interesting. I would have loved to see the actual passage below us. That's a lot of rooms. Actually ممكن نطلع الكاميرا أصلا. Okay, I see no signs up here. I might actually use the camera. Okay, here's the camera. Oh, I see snakes and snakes with wings. Okay, peculiar. And I think that's the 14 gods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 perhaps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 16. Okay, it's getting darker and deeper. That's scary. And steep. What is this? The wall is awesome. Why can't we go further? The temple suddenly stopped abruptly, as you've seen, and now we're going back. However, these stars in the ceiling attracted my eyes. It have been in other temples as well, as you have seen. I bet it has some meaning in the ancient Pharaonic. Well, let's get going. We're going around right now. Okay, this one is so steep. Man, I'm afraid I might fall. Rameses 1. Why? Just build an elevator, man. This is gonna have a lot of pressure on my lungs. واحنا طالعين. Oh man, is this a bungee jump? What the hell? And I think that's his tomb. Let's pause the video here until we're done. Okay, there we are, we're down. And the colors here is way better. Why are they holding hands? Okay, I like peace. That's Horus, right? Yeah, Horus seems colorful and way better. He's even more cute like that. And I don't know why the king is green. And what? What the? Why is his face a bug? However, seriously, the colors are just awesome. It's hard to believe those are natural colors. That's his tomb. We'd love to have it opened for us. That's pretty awesome. Pose for now. That's Anubis. That's the guy who was buried here. And that's the third one is Horus. They're dragging him to his last world. And that's where he was put. Okay, I have to say, climbing is way harder than going down. Man, that's a long way up. Okay, I'll concentrate on climbing now. Okay, to be honest, I looked this one up. I mean, the name is too hard for me to spell. Anyway, in Tutankhamun's tomb, we faced a lot of vexing. That was hard to pronounce too, not only spell. But frankly speaking, in my opinion, it's not like the tomb deserved all that shit. I've seen better in the rest of the tombs, and it was for a lower ticket price. If you're on a tight budget or schedule, I personally advise skipping this one and seeing the rest instead. But Tamir, how come Tut's tomb is one of the most famous tombs around the world? Let me fix that for you, would you? Tut is one of the most famous pharaohs around the world, not his tomb. That's because he was one of the youngest pharaohs, and one who had tremendous amount of treasure buried with him upon his death. I mean, the little boy got a pure golden mask, inside a golden coffin, inside 2 wooden boxes covered in gold. That's excession of gold, if you ask me. Let alone the 3,000 pieces of treasures. I'll be keeping a link in the description that I found really helpful in describing a lot about Tutankhamun and his room and the treasures that was found with him. And since they prohibited the use of DSLR cameras, we used phones to record with. But then... Okay, here is with the phone. Yeah, it should have been illegal to photograph from here. Video ممنوع برضو؟ ما كله بيموت. So we took pictures with our phones. And honestly, I had no idea what's the difference at all. I mean, seriously, videos are just a series of rapidly taken frames of pictures and an audio file. And I was like... So getting over with this tomb, I had some negative comments on modern humans ruining the ancient civilization's remains by trying to fix it. I mean, these stairs are still good. How are you gonna go down on the ancient stairs without actually ruining it, or maybe you tripping over? But what about this? I have no idea what the hell this device is, but that's not my objection. This is my objection. To get the cables and powers to this device, why do you do such a thing? I mean, look at this. Like, you totally removed part of the wall and put it over it. Anyway, that's all my comments on Tutankhamun's tomb, and like generally on modern civilizations trying to preserve the old ones and sometimes making mistakes along the process. So let's go to the next one. Now, after the disappointment I've had at Tutankhamun's tomb, this tomb seems like a paradise to me. At least it's wide, you know. You can take your freedom walking, watching, talking, photographing. It's way better. And the drawings are much more well appreciated. Yeah, I wonder why Toots. And the walls have a lot of more variety of art. The wall here seems ruined, unfortunately. Well, we can't use the camera here anymore, but we have cut a good distance so we can continue on the phone. Eh? Okay, so he gave me the permission to use the camera. So overall the room is good. It's spacious and I like the decorations. I really love the wings, so the wings here is quite clear and good, and it's realistic as well. And the wall is well decorated as well. That's the god of sun, the ship of afterlife. All a spacious place to be buried in. I bet he was relaxed when he was dead. So I want to show you, this is the actual wall. This is some repairs, this is repairs, and this is the actual wall. So there is a lot of repairs that might have somehow ruined or changed the shape, but it's overall good. So as you can see also, the roof, there are some points which the colors are removed, and the colors are removed from the bottom as well. That's because of the flood that happens in Egypt in 1969. Okay, we are finally out in the open air again, and we'll take this way right back to there and right the tough back again. So final view at the tomb. It's really a valley, and each few meters you can find a tomb of a certain king, like this one for example, and this one, and each king has made his tomb based on his what do you call it, preferences, what he likes to see, what he wants in the afterlife, what colors he like. It was like building his home for the afterlife. There you can see tombs beside each other like that in the middle of the mountain. I'm glad I wasn't a pharaoh. See ya for now. For today's photo gallery I won't be putting music because there's a few things that I still want to say and a few comments that I want to make on them. So as you can see in front of you, that's the maquette that we saw at the entrance, which I found really useful and helpful in making us visualize the situation once I got there. I can see from here, you can see how deep each tomb is, how many rooms it have, and how far you're gonna have to walk, how far each tomb is from each other. This maquette is made on a scale, and that was like a really good thing I found over there. Obviously, as you can see and imagine, you can't climb on the mountains. And one last thing I want to say, or actually show you, is this website. I'm gonna leave the link as well in the description. It shows you which tombs are open for visitation right now and which tombs require special tickets, and it also shows you the most recent updates regarding using video cameras and mobile cameras. You're allowed to photograph using your phone. You're actually allowed to use your DSLR camera, but you need tickets. Despite however the situation inside is, but that's the laws that you need to keep in mind. Overall, I had to tell you, the trip was totally worth. The vivid colors I saw down there was totally amusing. Going with a tour guide is highly advised. He will tell you a lot and you'll get to learn a lot from the ancient Egyptian history and culture. And that's what I gotta say about this trip. Thank you for hanging up till here.